I decided last minute to go ahead and do a video on this. This is going to be shrimp creole. So we started off with 2 sticks of butter, and we're sauteing these vegetables. This is what they call in Louisiana, at least South Louisiana, the Holy Trinity. So you have some onions, some bell pepper, and some celery. And we get the container that's already put together, chopped up, so I ain't gotta worry about dealing with that and crying and everything like that. And I've also added about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic in it, and I'm sauteing this down for about 30 minutes at least to get it nice and soft on a very low heat. And I'll go ahead and got 6 minutes left, and if it's not really clear, like you can tell right now, it's not really that clear. I'm gonna go ahead and I will let it cook down a little bit longer until it's really clear and tender. Alright, be right back. The container that this comes in, it shows you what's in it. Yellow onions, bell pepper, celery, green onions, parsley, garlic. It's got a little bit of parsley in it too. We might put a little bit more later in it, depending on what the recipe's calling for. A lot of this recipe came from the Cajun Ninja. If y'all haven't seen his YouTube page, I do a lot of stuff that he does. I just alter it up just a little bit here and there. But he has some great recipes. He doesn't worry about calories, I can tell you that, but calories make taste, and I can tell you it's very good. A lot of stuff, and my family asks for a lot of stuff that he does, stuffed pork chops and different things like that. So, but we're gonna work on the shrimp creole tonight, and go ahead and let this cook down some more. I'll tell you now, I got 2 pounds of fresh Louisiana shrimp that I picked up, and I'm letting this defrost. These are frozen, and go ahead and get them ready. And we'll be putting those in there also. Fresh Louisiana Gulf of Mexico shrimp right there. All right, so next thing we did is I moved these onions to the side, and I've got some of this butter that's left right here. We're gonna take a 1/3 cup of flour, and we're gonna sprinkle this right here, because we're gonna start making a roux, just a small roux out of this. We can kind of blend it in with some of this butter, just to kind of give this gravy a little consistency in it, a little color. And once we get it blended in, I know this lighting ain't the best. Okay, the lighting's a little better. So you can see we got this kind of blended in right here. And as we kind of blend it in, we'll start slowly mixing in with these onions. Until it's all incorporated all the way around. I'll go ahead and cook it down a little bit. Got this on a kind of a low to medium, but mostly low heat. This is all incorporated. We're going to cook this down another 15-20 minutes. With this roux kind of cooking a little bit, brown up just a little bit, and continue softening up our vegetables. And I'm going to keep stirring. I don't want this to stick. I don't want this to burn. So for 15 minutes, I think that's what I got left, I'm going to keep on stirring. And I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so that's been cooking down for 10 minutes. We're putting 1 can of Rotel Original for a little bit of spice. We've got this tomatoes in it also. We're gonna stir this in. We'll let it cook down for about 5 minutes before our next step. All right, we got that cooking down. And we're gonna I'm putting 2 cans of crushed tomatoes in here, 15 ounce. The recipe I use calls for one of the bigger 28 or 30 ounce cans. My store didn't have that, so this is all they had. So I'm gonna end up using 2 of these smaller cans. I'm gonna stir this in. One thing you want to make sure for, since you have this roux, is make sure you wash the bottom of this pot. You don't want anything sticking. That's why we have this on a very low heat. All right, and here's my other can. I'm going to stir this in and let this cook down for about 5 minutes also. All right, so this recipe calls for 2 cups of shrimp stock. If you're peeling your shrimp, you can boil those peelings in water and create its own stock. But since my shrimp came peeled already, I'm just going to use this seafood stock that's right here and put 2 cups of that. And I'm gonna pour that in slowly as I incorporate that. All right, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of sugar to try to cut some of this acidity out of here. So I don't have my wife and daughter complaining about acid reflux and stuff. So just 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's supposed to cut the acidity of this tomato sauce. Go ahead and mix that in. All right, so this recipe also calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, then 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. And because my wife and daughter, again, don't like stuff way too spicy, all I do is kind of put more of a heaping teaspoon of the Cajun seasoning, which already has cayenne pepper in there. And it seems to be a good blend of not having to put that cayenne pepper itself in there. So put that in there. Go ahead and get that mixed up. Next, we're putting in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt to give it a little more flavor, but not any more of that Cajun seasoning to make sure it's not too spicy. So mix that in. All right, next we're gonna put, recipe calls for a heaping tablespoon, but since this parsley already has, since it's already parsley in that Creole mix, I'm putting a little bit less than a tablespoon. And make sure you want to keep stirring this because you don't want to stick on the ground. Stick to the bottom of the pan. All right, so this has to cook for about an hour. And what we're gonna do is I'm setting the timer for 45 minutes because at 45 minutes, we gotta come back and do some more stuff. Now, tedious part of this is you have to stir this every 5 to 10 minutes because if not, you will have this getting stuck on the bottom and burnt and it's not gonna taste good. So, let me go ahead. I got this on the lowest heat it will go. And started my timer at 45 minutes. I'm glad to start cooking. All right, so with 15 minutes in this, I've already stirred it twice. And I had to move this to a smaller burner in the back. I still have it on low. And it's sticking on the bottom, so that's why every 5 minutes, you gotta make sure you come in here and stir this. Make sure we stay on top of it. All right, now that the 45 minutes is up, I'm taking the rest of the seafood stock. I need 4 cups of this. So I'm putting the remainder of this in here, and whatever else it takes, I'm doing water up to 4 cups. So we have 4 cups. We'll cut the one in the pot. Water in there. I'm putting 2 cups of rice. That's my second one. Also putting in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt for flavor. I'm gonna get this heated up. All right, so we're waiting for this to start boiling. Don't forget every 5 minutes, we're stirring that. We also took our shrimp out of the refrigerator because we don't want them super cold when we put them in here in a little while. All right, so we have a hard rolling bowl in this rice. We're gonna lower it. I'm putting it on this simmer in the back on a low heat for 25 minutes. All right, when I have about 5 minutes left on the rice, I'm gonna open this up, give it a quick stir, nothing sticking on the bottom, and I'm putting my shrimp in there. Make sure I mix this in well. I'm gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes. Even though the rice has 5 minutes left, I'm gonna come back and check on that. All right, so 25 minutes is up. I'm turning this off, and all I'm doing is taking this off the heat. I will not open this up yet. And this has a few minutes left on it. I'm gonna give it one more stir. I raised the heat a little bit just because, very little bit, just because of that shrimp that's in there. It was very cold, and I regret doing it because I can feel this sticking on the bottom. But that's why we stir it every 5 minutes. I got it lowered all the way back down as much as it will go again, freeing up this bottom. You can see those shrimp tightening up, meaning they're getting cooked full. Giving this another stir. And I think in about 5 minutes, when this rice is completely ready, this will be ready also. I'll be right back. All right, you might want to know why ask why I put that rag on top of this pot. Is because these little things don't really seal too well. So I put a rag over to try to keep some of that steam in when I cook this rice. But this rice is now ready. And that seafood stock is going to give it a little bit of a color, a little bit of a flavor, a little twist on it a little bit, just to give it a little extra flavor. But I don't cook real rice that often. I usually cook instant. So this actually looks like it came out pretty well. Fluff it up a little bit, and I'll continue to fluffing that up after I turn off the camera. And our shrimp Creole is ready. I cannot explain to you how well this smells. My mouth is watering, but we are ready to go on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and fluff this rice up a little bit, get the kids and them ready to go, come eat, and I'll plate it up and show you what this looks like once it's on the plate. All right, so here it is.
Was. Scroll down, market cap 40 billion. If Terra Luna Classic did a 10x,
I'll be watching
it would be a $6 billion
Luna Classic
that put it at a tenth of a penny.
videos.
And then if it went to a $60 billion market cap, that's what would put it.
I cannot tell you how good this tastes.
$60 billion.
Can't describe it. Came out very well. Oh, I'm gonna lose shrimp. It's hard to film looking through the camera while I try to do this at the same time. So I'm gonna put the camera down and eat. If y'all enjoyed this video, please like, please subscribe, and tell me if you like the video, if y'all want to see more cooking videos. Like I said, it's something kind of intimidating because I know a lot of people do things a lot differently. And I know there'll be remarks on how things are done, but everybody does something different. There's not many things that my kids will eat that the whole family eats together, and this is one of them. So I'll cook this and some pasta and some gumbos and stuff. When it gets a little bit colder, I'll do a gumbo video. I have a lot of people that eat my gumbo, so it's always a good sign when you go to parties or people ask you to cook it and you don't go home with any. Usually that's a good sign. So I'm going to eat this, and y'all have a good one. See y'all in the next video.